The turbos theoretically can have more horsepower and more torque, but it's at higher RPMs. You're pulling a boat in and out of the water, you're at low RPMs. Plenty enough power, but you get phenomenal gas mileage. This gas mileage is real. This isn't some rating.
Toyota is saying goodbye to some of its most legendary vehicles. What does this mean for your favorite models? In today's video, we uncover why the Avalon Hybrid and the 4Runner V6 are being phased out and what their replacements bring to the table. Could this be your last chance to grab these proven performers before they're gone for good? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine walking into a Toyota dealership and choosing excitement over everything the brand has been known for: practicality, reliability, and cost efficiency. It sounds unthinkable, right? Yet this is exactly the kind of decision buyers are being nudged toward as Toyota shifts its focus. According to Koji Sato, Toyota's president and CEO, a car is not a car if it's not fun. He's made it clear. Toyota plans to prioritize emotional, passionate products over vehicles that have historically been praised for their dependability and practicality. For decades, Toyota has been the go-to brand for people who want their cars to work hard for them, not just impress them. But with this new vision, that reputation could look a lot different in the coming years. Take the Avalon Hybrid, for example. This full-size sedan was a masterpiece of efficiency, offering real-world gas mileage of 45 miles per gallon. That's the kind of number that turns heads when gas prices spike. But Toyota decided to discontinue it and replace it with the flashier Toyota Crown, which only gets around 32 to 33 miles per gallon.
You pay extra for the hybrid, but of course, you get phenomenal gas mileage. But what you got is, you have a 4-cylinder engine, but it's a hybrid system. Plenty enough power, but you get phenomenal gas mileage. This gas mileage is real. This isn't some rating.
Think about what that means over the life of the car. More trips to the gas station, more money spent at the pump, and higher costs for owners who drive frequently in urban environments. The Avalon Hybrid made sense for drivers who counted every dollar, who wanted to stretch their fuel budget while enjoying a smooth, comfortable ride. Its hybrid system wasn't just efficient, it was dependable. Owners often praise this system for lasting well beyond 200,000 miles with minimal maintenance, giving drivers peace of mind alongside its fuel savings. That's a hard combination to replace with something more image-driven. What's fascinating about the Avalon Hybrid was how it balanced practicality with modern technology. It delivered instant torque through its electric motor, providing acceleration that could even outperform some traditional V6 engines. Owners could feel confident merging onto highways or passing slower vehicles, all while relying on a vehicle that weighed less due to its compact battery design. But this wasn't a car that screamed for attention. It fits seamlessly into the lives of countless drivers, offering spacious seating, intuitive controls, and impressive trunk space. It was never about being flashy. It was about quietly delivering on all the things you truly need from a car without compromising the budget. Compare that to the Crown, which leans heavily into its sleeker design and sporty feel. Sure, it's stylish, but can it save you hundreds, if not thousands, on fuel and major repairs over the years? For many buyers, that's an answer that remains unclear. This marks a distinct shift in Toyota's strategy, one that seems focused on stepping away from the image of being purely practical. And while some may find the Crown's bold styling and fun branding exciting, others are left asking crucial questions. Is that excitement worth losing the low maintenance, high value advantages that have traditionally drawn buyers to the brand? Emotion might sell in showrooms, but everyday drivers need more than just emotional appeal. They need vehicles that won't let them down under pressure. And the transition from a reliable workhorse like the Avalon Hybrid to glitzier but less efficient replacements highlights that very tension. The Avalon Hybrid's story ends on a bittersweet note, reminding us that while emotional appeal might capture attention, it's the day-to-day value that keeps people loyal. Cost-conscious drivers now have to weigh style against substance, asking themselves if the shift is truly worth it. But the Avalon Hybrid isn't the only legend facing extinction, because Toyota's rugged off-road champion is next in line. What if the powerhouse engine that made the Toyota 4Runner an off-road legend is about to be replaced by something a lot less proven? That's exactly the conversation happening right now as Toyota prepares to phase out the 4Runner's iconic V6. For years, this engine has been one of the most respected in its class, praised for its reliability, low-end torque, and ability to handle the toughest terrains without batting an eye.
The Tacomas, when they went to 6-4, and indeed they have, had transmission problems, they've had problems, for one main reason. This is the last V6 engine that they're gonna put in these things. Just like my son's Tacoma, and I predict they'll have the same problems, only doubly so, in a 4Runner.
Alongside the vehicle's full-frame construction, the V6 turned the 4Runner into a trusted companion for off-road enthusiasts, campers, and drivers who need confident towing power. Its track record has endured for decades, cementing its status as one of the most dependable options in a market full of compromises. But come 2025, Toyota plans to replace this workhorse with a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. The shift raises immediate questions, and not just about engine size. Enthusiasts aren't exactly cheering this decision because a turbo 4-cylinder typically doesn't provide the same low-end torque that the naturally aspirated V6 is known for. And torque isn't just a number on a spec sheet.
The turbos theoretically can have more horsepower and more torque, but it's at higher RPMs. You're pulling a boat in and out of the water, you're at low RPMs. You're making a big mistake. People want something that can pull weight, go off-road with the torque of a V6 engine. You're going off-road, you're at low RPMs, low speeds, right? A Turbo 4 was not made for that.
It's what you rely on to power through sand, mud, or steep inclines without a struggle. It's what makes towing trailers or boats less of a hassle. Will a smaller, force-fed engine be able to deliver that same real-world capability? That's a question many aren't sure they want to gamble on just yet. Reliability is another major concern. The V6's simplicity is part of what gives it that bulletproof reputation. It's strong, straightforward, and doesn't require the additional moving parts and complexity of a turbocharged system. These extra components can wear out faster when pushed to their limits under extreme conditions, whether it's prolonged off-road use, heavy towing, or less than perfect maintenance. Longtime owners know the V6 has already proven it can endure years of abuse in extreme heat, cold, and uneven terrain. Swapping this engine out for a more complex unit brings uncertainty, especially when harsh environments are involved. Will the new turbocharged engine match up to the battle-tested durability of what it's replacing? For buyers planning to push their vehicles to the limits, that's a tough sell. Another hallmark feature of the current 4Runner is its 5-speed automatic transmission. While some might call it dated compared to modern transmissions with 8 or more gears, its simplicity is actually part of the appeal. A 5-speed setup is far less complicated, with fewer parts that could fail over time. This design has worked hand in hand with the V6 engine, giving the vehicle a reputation for bulletproof durability. Newer turbocharged engines usually come paired with more advanced transmissions, and while that might sound appealing in theory, it introduces more potential points of failure. For long-term reliability, sometimes old-school engineering is exactly what off-roaders and adventurers trust the most. This isn't only about the 4Runner though, it reflects a bigger shift in Toyota's broader strategy. On one hand, the company is trying to balance its environmental goals by phasing out older, less efficient systems. On the other, it risks alienating its most loyal fans, those who have stuck with Toyota because of its no-nonsense reputation for reliability and capability. The upcoming changes raise the question of whether Toyota can meet both goals without losing the essence of vehicles like the 4Runner. For those still craving off-road reliability with Toyota's badge, there is the Land Cruiser, but at a much higher price point. The reality is, not everyone is going to spend Land Cruiser level money, and the 4Runner has always served as a more accessible alternative. If the V6 version of the 4Runner is phased out, buyers may soon find themselves without an affordable option that balances rugged dependability and real-world usability. The 2024 4Runner V6 then might truly represent the end of an era. It's the last chance to own a proven performer that has outlived many competitors. For anyone considering a rugged SUV for adventure, towing, or just everyday reliability, this could be the moment to act. So should you rush to grab one of these legends before they disappear? Let's wrap up. Toyota's decision to embrace emotion over practicality marks a bold departure from what made the brand trusted globally. Models like the Avalon Hybrid and the 4Runner V6 are more than just vehicles. They're symbols of reliability and value, traits customers have relied on for decades. But with their disappearance, so goes a way of engineering focused on proven performance and long-term dependability. If you've been eyeing one of these legends, now might be your best and final chance to own them. Which matters more to you, emotional appeal or practical reliability? Let us know your thoughts and share which side of Toyota's future you're on.